Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here doing my very first ever Plan With Me video using this Morning Glory mini kit from my shop. The first 2 pages are the kit. The third one is just a sheet of daily gratitude squares and a dinner plan sticker that I make to go with whatever kit I decide I'm using that week. I do not sell those in my shop, they're just for my own personal use. The first thing I do when I'm laying down my basic framework for a week is to put down the dinner plan sticker. I like to write down what we had on each day. That way I have a record, so when I plan the next bunch of meals, I know, oh, we just had this last week, or oh, we haven't had this in a while. So it's just kind of a reference thing for me. The next thing I put down are the date headers. My date headers only have the days of the week on them. I leave a space for you to put the date because you never know when someone's going to want to use this kit. This is... I forgot what I was going to say. I swear it was going to be something. So this kit, I just left it blank. I go back later and I add the numbers. You can add stickers, you can add labels, you could handwrite it. It's completely up to you. I like to give you options with these kits, which is why they are so minimalistic. They're only 2 pages. That way you have room to add in other stickers, or you can add lettering. I want to give you options. I want to give you room to play. The next thing I add after I've done my date covers is my weekend banner. I like weekend banners. I like to always have the option to use it. And when I design my inserts, which these are my own inserts, I do sell them as printables in my shop. I wanted to make sure that I kept Saturday and Sunday together always, so I could always use the weekend banners that came with kits. This meant it took a little wiggling around to try to figure out how to get them to always be together, and the solution for me was a week on 3 pages. There is a column before Monday, and that's where I put down my dinner plan, and also I usually put down some deco. My kits almost always have some sort of deco on there. Usually it's a lot of small pieces, like 3 or 4 small pieces, and then on this one I decided to go with just one big one, so that's what I put in that space in the column before Monday. In my kits, I also include bottom washi strips, which I hate calling them washi because they're not really washi, they're sticker paper, but you know what I mean. So these are sized for the Erin Condren or for the Happy Planner, which means that they are way too big, like width-wise, and also they're not long enough for me to have on 3 pages on my ring binder inserts. Just because a kit is designed for a more popular planner does not mean that you can not use it in your less common planner. Traveler's notebooks and ring binders have so many different variations in what they look like and what the pages look like because they're offered by so many different independent sellers that you got to be able to make what you have work. And I feel like with mine, I can do that because all I have to do is cut those washi strips in half, and then I have enough to go across the bottom of all 3 pages. Even if I was using a week on 4 pages, I would still have enough to go across the bottoms of all 4 pages. So, you know, I make it work for me. I don't feel the need to make a specific kit or have to buy a specific kit for every single kind of page layout because there's just too many different kinds. And what you saw me doing there was I used the X-Acto knife to cut it. Instead of trying to cut it so that, you know, taking a chance that I would cut through my paper, I actually lay the blade where I want it to cut and then slowly lift the sticker against it, and that cuts it. It works better than the credit card trick because it's sticker paper. It doesn't tear. My paper's not vinyl, but it's not paper, regular paper either. And the X-Acto knife is the most precise way I found to cut it, and that cutting it in that direction means I don't accidentally slice through my paper. Now what I'm doing is sticking down my daily gratitude squares. There's one at the end of each column. Every day I write down one thing that I'm grateful for. I have depression and anxiety that I'm trying to work through, and part of my self-care is making sure that I am practicing gratitude. So it could be something big like I'm grateful for my family and my health, or it could be something small like, yay, the cat puked on the tile instead of the rug today. You know, gratitude comes in all sizes. The next thing I'm doing is sticking down my dates. I'm using these very small Recollections alphabet stickers. They're like $2 at Michael's, and they're my very favorite alphabet stickers ever. They're small, they're in a very neutral font, so they can go with different styles of things. They're glitter, but they don't shed glitter everywhere the way some stickers do. I thought it was so clever because I went through my stacks of stickers and I found that there were enough ones to make it through the whole week in white. And I was like, yes, go me. And I totally spaced checking to see if there were any twos. So Tuesday, I am so sorry, my bad. You don't get a date unless I go to Michael's later this week. So there, I've got my date covers done. You know, I've got the basic framework set out. I could take off my little sticky note where I wrote down, you know, this is the date that this week starts on. I like to do that because I don't pre-plan what kit I'm going to use. So when I have the blank pages in my planner, I just stick a little sticky note on each one so I remember what week that is, instead of having to do the date covers ahead of time. Because sometimes I don't know until I'm actually about to sit down, like, oh, I guess I'll use this. The first thing I do after my basic framework is set up is start planning Monday. I got my framework, now I can plan what's going to go in the days. I use these Uni Style Fit pens, and they come, I bought the whole variety thing of them, and they come in a bunch of different colors. And so what I do is I take a few that I think will work and I scribble a little bit on the kit itself so I can see what the ink looks like on my paper. That way I can see which colors are closest to the colors that I used. So this week it's going to be the blue-black pen. I laid down a header, and for this one I did a header and I did a long checklist because I knew I was going to have more than a couple things to do on Monday. I do different types of headers. I have 2 different types of headers in my mini kits. One is a thin one and one is a slightly thicker one with a writing space in the middle. And the reason I do this is so that you have options. You could use them by themselves as a separator. You could use them to denote a small chore or appointment. You can use them as a header to top one of these checklists like I'm doing here. You could put them at the top of one of the half boxes checklists that I use in my kits to say what the things in there are. Sometimes it's chore, sometimes it's what I need to pick up at Whole Foods. Sometimes it's things I don't want to forget to take with me somewhere. I feel like doing that and leaving them separate just gives me more options, more ways I can use them. So now what I'm doing is I'm writing down my to-do list for Monday. I just started doing the Fly Lady system of kind of household maintenance recently, and so I like to take some of the stuff that's not the daily stuff. Like, I know I have to make my bed, I know I have to do laundry or a load of laundry, but then there are chores that are day specific or week specific, and I like to write a few of those on each day. That way I don't sit there, look at my planner and say, oh, today's kind of empty, I don't really have anything to do anything today, when in reality I got chores I should really be getting off my butt and doing. And this way it's all in one spot, and even if I don't make it to my control journal that day, I can sit down and I can look at my planner and say, hey, this is what you got to do. At least do this and you'll be good because you did something. And I do write fairly slowly, as you can see here. It is sped up, but I write fairly slowly because I like to practice my lettering. I like to practice my handwriting. People are like, oh, you have such nice handwriting. That is not my handwriting. You ever want to see my handwriting? Look at my after the pen layouts on Instagram. That is my handwriting. It's terrible. My kids take piano lessons once a week. It's always on Monday, so I made cute little piano lesson stickers that I could write what their class times are. Those are available in my shop. I didn't used to have them in my shop. I used to just make them for myself, and someone's like, why don't you sell them? I'm like, oh, duh. I stick down the sticker on Monday. I write down what each of their lesson times is underneath it. Again, practicing my lettering. Always, always practicing my lettering. Next thing I'm doing is just adding my dinner plan. I started my week late. I didn't start planning till Monday because I'm a little bit of slacker. So I already know what I'm having for dinner tonight, and I'm writing that down. Next up, we are going to do Tuesday. So I am reaching for the second page of my kit, which has full boxes and half boxes on there. I went ahead and selected a half box. I use these to highlight more important things. It's one thing to put, I've got to do this, I've got to do the dishes and vacuum and run to the store. Those are little sticker things, but big sticker things, I want to call more attention, like appointments or picture day, which happens to be what I'm writing down here. Things of that nature that I don't want to forget, that I want my eye to focus on. So here I put down a half box because, again, so things are big boxes and those are events. But reminders, that's a half box thing. So I'm writing down picture day, and you're probably getting tired of me talking about how you should practice. If you want your handwriting to look nice, the best thing you could do is practice your lettering. Practice it with every single thing you write. If you've got an extra 30 seconds, then, when you're filling out something, then practice your lettering. That's the best way to get it to work for you. I found a tiny camera sticker on one of my sampler sticker sheets that I got at probably Plancation, I think. And I stuck that on there. Now I am using one of my skinny headers. You can see it's a solid color. The skinny ones are generally a solid color. The ones that are a little bit wider, they could be solid or they could be patterned depending on my mood when I designed them or what patterns or colors I have going on. I'm using that as a header for my half box checklists. I write down, what kind of checklist it is. This one happens to be something small that I can't see on my screen while I'm doing my voiceover. So, what does that say? Chores? Looks like it says chores. I've got the jankiest, most beginner setup here. And one day, if this sticks, I will invest in something better. But until I'm sure I'm going to keep up with it, we're working on janky phone systems here. So I am using a white pen to write chores on there so that it shows up better. And I want to write down the top 3 things I want to achieve that day. Most days before this, I started this control journal thing. There were a lot of days where I just wouldn't do anything. I'm a terrible housekeeper. I'll admit it. I'm lazy. It doesn't mean my house is a mess. It doesn't mean my floors are sticky. It means that I have a hard time getting going. So this way, I'm like, look, even if all you accomplish is these 3 small things today, then hey, that's 3 more than you would have accomplished before. But I got to remember, what's that priority, or I need to tell myself, these are the things. Don't just randomly pick 3 things because I know I'll never get around to it. Next, I'm going to go ahead and embellish that with these cute little stickers from DigiKika. I actually bought the clip art and then just took the bun off so it would look more like me and made the stickers myself. But my philosophy, if it's cute, I'll keep coming back. I'll keep using it. And that keeps me engaged with my planner. So let's make it cute. The next thing I'm doing is putting some stickers on here to remind me to take my cans to the curb. I don't like stickers that are floating on the page. I feel like they need to be grounded with something, and that's a holdover from my scrapbooking days. It's no sticker sneeze. It's got to have a reason. So I use one of those covers again. They're great for this sort of thing. I put it down, I put my little sticker on top, and then it's not just floating through space. Now I'm using another half box. Got to get it lined up just right there. Tricky sometimes. And I am giving myself a reminder for the cat box. This is, again, something that has to be done once a week. We use the Breeze litter system. So it has, instead of being a regular litter box, it has like an absorbent pad underneath and then pellets. So you have to change the pad once a week, but then you change the pellets every 4th week. And I always forget which week it is, so I made little stickers that look like the packaging to remind myself, is this a pellet or a pad week, or is this a pallet and a pad week? So I am putting down my stickers for that so I can remember that the cat box needs attending to that day. Now it's time to move on to Wednesday. I am going ahead and pulling out this stack of samplers that I have. I'm trying to use more of the stickers that I get on these little samplers and freebies from events. And I'm just going through the stack trying to figure out if there's anything that I can use this week that's going to fit in with my color scheme or something that I know that I'm doing. So I know here that I'm going to use one of these little cloud stickers, so I went ahead and pulled that out. And that's pretty much the only one I'm using, so I'll go ahead and set that down. Now I'm trying to decide which sticker I want to use as my base, because again, I don't like floating stickers. I like them to be grounded on something. And I'm using a full box here. I'm not 100%, after I was done with my layout, wasn't 100% sure about this green box, but I guess what's done is done. I put my little cloud doing laundry sticker on there, and I decided that I didn't like the pink on the shirt it was putting in there because the pink clashed with my blue and the green. So I am just taking my fine point gel pen and I'm coloring in the shirt. There's 2 different colors. There's a lighter pink and a darker pink. So I'm coloring in the darker blue with a blue-black shade that I've been using to do all of my journaling and writing. And I am using a regular blue to fill in the rest. And once I was done doing the whole thing, I realized that you couldn't tell. So that was worth it. But like I was saying, I'm not 100% sure about this green square. It worked with the kit because there was green in the patterns with the flowers and the leaves. But seeing it on the page and it being pretty much the only green thing that stuck out, not 100% sure. But, you know, it's not about perfection. It's about getting it done and having it work and remembering that the imperfections are what makes things interesting. So I left it. I didn't change it. Now, just to fill in the wording on that sticker, my chore for that morning was to tidy the laundry room. That was on the Fly Lady list. I don't remember if it was a zone chore or if it was a daily chore. It had to be a zone chore. Who cleans their laundry room once a week? I don't. Oh well. I wrote it down. It has a big sticker. I know I said big stickers were like for events, but I really wanted to use that cute cloud, and that was a bigger sticker, and I knew it wouldn't leave me a lot of room to write on a half box, so I went ahead and used a full box. And I think it looks cute. So the other thing that I needed to do that day was to clean the interior of my car, and my car's interior is kind of a mess because my husband drives it, and he's a little bit messy, I'm not gonna lie. This one, just using a half box because I know that the stickers that I have to go with it are not as big as the last one. I found coloring pages online, like free coloring pages that look like each of my vehicles, and just filled them in the colors in Photoshop to make them the same color as my car. And now whenever I have to do any kind of car maintenance, I can, put one for my SUV or one for the Mini Cooper on there. And I don't have to write which car it is because I have a little visual reminder. And then I also added stickers on the sheet for tires, like rotate tires, put air in tires, get new tires, which is what prompted this because I had to get new tires a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to go ahead and put my little mini sticker on there. And again, those are stickers that I made for myself. I don't sell those because I didn't draw them. They're just free coloring book page images that I found online. Now that Wednesday's chores and things I need to remember to do are written down, I am moving on to Thursday. The first thing I need to do is remember that Thursday is Valentine's Day, and I didn't feel like doing anything that day, and so I left it blank and moved on to Friday. I'm starting Friday with a small list of chores, things I need to do. So first goes down the header. So I can write down, do this shit, because it's shit I gotta do. And then I'm going to add a half box checklist there. So there you can see I'm writing, do this shit, which is usually how I head my chore list. It's either that or shit to do. I'm very, very creative, if you can't tell. Now I'm just going to go ahead and thicken up those lines, little faux calligraphy, you know, going to be fancy like that. And then fill in my chore list. Okay, full disclosure, I haven't figured out all the bells and whistles yet, so I don't know how to fast forward through sections. So I just went ahead and clipped out the part where I'm writing down my chores because... Really, do you need to see 5 minutes of me lettering something? No, you don't. That gets boring. I'm on to the next thing. I found this sheet of mini flags in my pile of stickers. I use these a lot. They're something I have available in my shelf, and I like, not shelf, shop, Sarah's shop. I have them available in my shop, and I like them because they're good for bringing attention to certain things. Sometimes a half box is too plain and you want something that makes it pop. So I went ahead and I pulled out a blue flag that coordinated with the rest of the blue in my kit and put it on a half box. I have a manicure appointment that day. I get my nails done in acrylic because I have dermatillomania, which means basically I'm a dumbass and I pick at my skin without thinking about it until I bleed, and it sucks. And I have found that while medicating myself for it didn't work, putting on acrylic nails did, because you can't pick at stuff when you have acrylic nails, and anybody who's ever had them can tell you it makes it a lot harder to pick up things and pick at things. So I keep acrylic nails for medical reasons. Now you know, that's a thing. I'm writing down my manicure appointment. I put my little half box there. I put the little flag there. Busted out one of my tiny nail polish bottle stickers. Those are available in my shop. They're only like $2.25 a sheet, and you get so many. I have been using this same sheet of nail polish stickers for like 2 years. I'm not even halfway through them. And I get my nails filled a lot. I get manicures quite often. So those are a good buy. I think they're a good buy. Got that sticker filled in, putting down the next sticker. And when I was going through my stack of samplers, I found this one, and it had a taco truck or food truck sticker on it, which is perfect because there was a food truck kind of event happening in our area on Friday night. So I went ahead and put my food truck sticker down. Now, I put it down before I did any writing, and then I ran out of room because I suck at planning ahead, believe it or not. And luckily, removable sticker paper exists. I love removable sticker paper, and I love shops that use removable sticker paper. They save me so much grief and so much undo. So I went ahead and just picked that sticker off, finished my lettering. I live in Phoenix. And in Phoenix, the bottom part of this Phoenix is kind of like long, like lengthwise. And near the bottom, there's a mountain that kind of separates the bottom part of Phoenix from the rest of Phoenix. So the part south of that is called Ahwatukee. A lot of people don't realize that Ahwatukee is not its own city, that it's actually part of Phoenix. But it's because it's separated, it's like a small little community, and they do a lot of community events, and so the food truck thing was one of them. So I went ahead and I got my food truck sticker down, put it in the right spot so it didn't cover anything, and now I am moving on to finishing this up. I think I mentioned earlier that I slacked off and didn't start planning this week until today, Monday, so I totally spaced that my son had a field trip today, and I didn't write that down. So now here I am. I like to layer my stickers, I'm sure you've noticed. So I put down a little kind of tacked sticky note looking sticker, and I layered it with a field trip sticker. Both the tacked note and the field trip sticker are both mine. They're both from my shop. Now I've got that down, so now it's time to finish the weekend. And I've got nothing going on that weekend. I sat there, thought about it. I couldn't come up with anything. But then I remembered my friend was coming in from out of town to visit. So I went ahead and I found a torn half box sticker, and picked one out in color coordinate, laid it down, realized it was crooked, peeled it back up again, laid it down straight this time, and then wrote that my friend was coming into town and was staying for a visit that weekend. This way, when she forgets or I forget, when was the last time she was out here? Oh, she was down this weekend. I know because I have it written down in my planner. And it's nice and neat too. And my sticker is straight, so yay me. So it's written down. And now I'm going to do a little more deco. So I've got this column over here on the right-hand side. And that was the price I paid for having to have my weekend together. Is not only do I have that column at the beginning where I put my dinner plan and notes or deco or whatever, but I also have a column at the end. Originally, my plan was going to be a brain dump space. Stuff that I know I need to add to the next week, the upcoming week. Make sure you schedule an appointment for the dog. Make sure, to get her nails clipped. Make sure that the weeds get pulled one day. Stuff that I know has to be done, but I don't have down for a specific day. So far, it hasn't worked out that way. It's been a space for me to either put decorative stickers or for me to make jot down a quick grocery list or to put a quote down. As you can see, I am doing this week. This is a quote sticker out of one of the Mambi sticker books, and I have no idea which one. And that's it. That's what I call done.
I'm editing in bed, and I needed an ending for my video, so this is it.
Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe.